Hi everybody, want to know how we've gone on this project? Well, let's have a bit of that cheesy music, a bit of a smiley face from Phil's intro, and we'll get into talking you through the finished project. Cheerio. Afternoon, chillins, decorators of the interweb. This is Phil Beckwith doing the final recap on that house renovation. Total house renovation. I'll say total house renovation. For us, it was just straightforward painting, top to bottom. This is what number, is it 5 or 6? I think we're on number 6. So if you followed previous segment updates on this, you've seen me talk about first one, second one, third one, fourth one and fifth one. So today we've actually finished, we've actually done everything, we're all finished, all ready to get in the van and go. There's only one thing we've got to finish off, and that's when they get the floors down in the hallway. We've got to come back and just redo the skirting because there's no skirting on at the moment, but other than that everything's done. So it's been a bit of an experience for us, because this is one of the jobs that we were told, oh yes, you can get on it, and we could get on it, and there'd be nobody here, and there'll only be a joiner just putting some door handles on. It was far from door handles being fitted. It was still bits being finished here, there and everywhere. So we've been a bit held up, and if I say held up, I planned a good month, so 4 weeks worth of work, and I think we've had an extra 2 weeks on it. We've had some extras to do. Can you remember, how many videos back I showed you how to fit, I don't know whether you can see, how to fit coving. Now if you want to see about the video on that, I'll do a link up there, back to how to fit coving. So that was an extra for us. We've also done, we've painted in fireplaces. They're all nicely done. So if you want to know about that, we've got a link up there. I'm good at my linking. It's not the weakest link, it's a link. So there's a link up there. And it's just really, let's move out of this room. It's very echoey. We've just cleaned the floors up. They were all varnished before we came in. There's one of these varnished doors. I must say, this finish is beautiful. I know you'll watch the linked video that I put up there, but these oak doors or oak finish doors, putting that water-based floor varnish on is actually, you can't beat it. Just a light coat, nib it down, another coat, nibbing down in between coats, and it's lovely. Just feel like running your hand over it. It's silky smooth. So let's close off on that one. That was the bedroom that we did. Ceilings are anti-reflex. All the ceilings are anti-reflex, and they've been made up in Farrow colours. We shouldn't say it, but we'll call it, they've been made up in near as possible mixes to Farrow colours. So the tops are all tops. I call the frieze and the picture rail and the ceilings and the, can you see, the ceiling centre, they're all in anti-reflex too. If you go back to my first video, you remember that all this was bare plaster. So just to recap on that, bare plaster was all wash coated. We wash coated a thinner, because I like just to thin it slightly, is the Optiva primer. You can put Optiva primer straight onto bare plaster, but with it being sprayed, it sprays nicer to thin it down. So everything was wash coated, and then we did the ceilings, and then I did all the spraying of the woodwork. And then we've just hand cut in and rolled any main wall areas. So that's straightforward. So let's just shut off on that one. Come on to the staircase. We're on the top landing. I'll probably get sun in my eyes because we've got a lovely sunny afternoon. Again, here we are. Ceilings, main wall and the staircase. Now can you remember, was it last week, week before? I did a video on spraying the staircase. Well, there'll be a link for that in that corner. So just to recap, if you haven't seen it, shows you how to spray a staircase. This, if you remember, it was all like that pine. It hadn't been painted. So what we'd done, we cleaned it all down and prepared it. And if you see, it's all been sprayed. So again, the link was in that top corner, and that's come up beautiful. The customer did comment how silky the finish of the handrails and the nor posts and the end caps were. So that's a good sign when a customer mentions that. And again, you can see all the panelling. The panelling was sprayed. I actually sprayed that with the GX FF Fine Finish sprayer, airless sprayer. That was all sprayed. The actual skirting, can you see, oh, can we get you on that? The actual skirting and the dado rail, I hand brushed that because with it being sprayed, it was as easy for me to just actually go around with a brush to coat those up. So that was quite a nice one to do. Span. And again, this is something that spraying does make sense, because the amount of time I saved doing all this. I know it was the MDF finish, bit of work on rubbing it down, just corking up edges and just nibbing in between coats, but the finish I've got no brush marks on that. It's just a lovely smooth finish. I don't know if you can tell a bit of a sheen, because that was Everol Aqua 40, which is a lovely paint. It's an exterior interior paint, but you don't be frightened to use it inside. So anybody thinking, oh, it's an exterior, it's suitable for inside and outside. This is beautiful. Again, the customer says never seen a finish like it. Well, how much is a GX FF sprayer? 700-800 quid. That's 700-800 quid's worth of actual like machinery, that if you want to get finishes like this, that's what you have to spend on. I mean, that's one of my cheapest sprayer equipments I've got. You know, I've got that 495 Graco 495 ST Max 2. Oh, if you didn't know about that one, I've got a link for that just there as well. Let's get the links in. Oh, links. Oh, there'll be girls and women fighting over me if I've got the links on. The links are there. So that's that. It's all down to the stuff that you're using to get the finish that you require. Now, quickly show you I'll show you this room. I can't. Let's go in here. Can't go in here because I've got my shoes on. I've got the carpet down. All the woodwork in these rooms was all sprayed. Does it speed anything up? Slightly, because you can get 2 coats on in a day, which you won't possibly doing if you're using brush and well, I say brush and roller on the woodwork, you know what I mean. If you're brushing the woodwork, you probably won't be 2 coating in a day if it's still hanging a little bit wet and sticky. Whereas you spray, once it's gone off, particularly with the Helmi range, Helmi and Everol Aquas, the Tickerillas, once that's gone off, you can start getting another coat on, and that's what I did. I'd got primer coats on, an undercoat, and then 2 top coat finishes. So within 2 days, you could actually get all your woodwork finished. Then the next day, tape it up, and away you go. Right, let's take you into another room. Now, the customer's nearly moved into this one, so I'm not going to pan around. It's a bit personal. There's a bed in there. Again, that was a room. You can't see. There was coving. Now, my pièce de la résistance. Is that French for the bit that I really like? Let's turn the light on. Is this bad boy? I saw the last video on this. Hand painted, marbled the bath. Now, if you want to know, shall I do you another link? If you want to know about hand painting a marble bath, let's have a link up there for that as well. So that, I don't know whether you can see, it's come up lovely. Look at that. All hand painted using polyvine scumballs. Bit of emulsion, bit of, I actually use for the white a bit of Helmi to be a bit of a pigment colour for me. But this for me is what I like doing. This is the skills of the decorator that comes out when you can do something like this. And I've not done a bath in this sort of style for a black and gold bath. It could be easily 20 years since I've done a black and gold bath. Obviously I've done decorative finishes over the years, colour washing and bits and pieces like that, but to do something like that in somebody's house is, yeah, I do like doing that. So right, I've spoke about all the bits upstairs. I'm going to go like that. I'm going to put my hand over the lens and I'll meet you downstairs. It's probably time for an ad break because Google will probably put an ad break on now. So let's see if they do. Thumb. Ta-da! Comment below. Was there an ad break there? It's quite interesting. Not everybody gets an ad break. Some people get adverts, some people don't. But I think Google susses it to see whether there's any talking and whether they can stick something in. But hey, you know, if I make 0.00 penny out of an ad break, bring it on, because you know I'm after that Porsche. Saving up for that Porsche. YouTube's going to buy me a Porsche. I'm sure they're going to buy me a Porsche with the money, not YouTube, but you know what I mean. Anyway, we're back downstairs, so just pan around onto that staircase. Again, the panelling's all there. This is what I sprayed, and again, we've had the link up above my head. Now the other bits we've done the front porch. You're not going to see. Let's see if we can get in there. Brian, who works for us, who's worked for us since 1966. He came on this job to help us for a few days because he'd been on his other job and we pulled him in on this one. Brian did all this. He brushed all the walls because they were pre-painted anyway. Oh, I've got the sun in my eyes. What a lovely day. And he's done all the woodwork as well. So Brian's done that. I'll come back into here. I've done most of it really. Just Brian and my father's been on sections of it. So walking through. Right, I'll just show you this downstairs toilet. Now, a bit of a nightmare, aren't they, when all the pipe working is, hopefully, yeah, all the pipe work's there. Hopefully, let's see, get a bit of focus. That is going to be boxed in at some stage, because what we've done, we've not painted the back wall because of the pipes, and the customer says, oh, don't worry about painting back of the pipes. This will all be boxed in. So hopefully when we come back again, we'll see that all neat. But yeah, downstairs toilet's looking nicely. Right, I'm just going to whiz you into the kitchen because I think the dog's sleeping. The kitchen came out really well. This we did 3 or 4 weeks ago. That was the Hague blue, and again everything was sprayed, woodwork was sprayed, ceilings were finished with anti-reflex, and the walls, these are it's either Optiva 3. I think it's actually Optiva 3 on that. There's not much sheen. I've forgotten. Done that much. I've forgotten. The kitchen, and I know this is where people say, oh yeah, all the taping up. Do you know what? The taping up of all the kitchen was worth it to get the finish that I've got on the ceiling. So don't be afraid to tape up, and even if you have a morning taping up, it doesn't matter. In the big scheme of things, if you've had a morning taping up, I know you've got the extra cost. Now the extra cost, work it out onto your price. Make sure it's in your price. Don't sell yourself short. Make sure it's all priced. But once all that's taped up and I can spray a ceiling and get 2 coats on in the morning and it's drying off, and then move on to the woodwork, because I'm not doing the walls. Because if traditionally you do ceiling, walls, woodwork, well, if I can do ceilings while that's all drying off and I'm all taped up, and then I drop onto, can't really see, if I drop onto like woodwork while ceilings are going off, even if I just get the first couple of primer and undercoat on, I'm doing ceilings and woodwork all at the same time. Then the next day I can bring something else forward. It does save time, even though if you go, oh no, you've got all that time taping up, you make it back on how quick you can actually do the jobs that you're doing. So that's the kitchen. And in the kitchen is the video that we linked to for painting the fireplace. That's actually in there. Now, customers got stuff in there, so I didn't want to film that. Into a smaller room. This is what Brian again dropped on 4 or 5 weeks ago, probably not as long as that. This is going to be a little bit of a study office, which is nice. So say we've done really all the house, haven't we? We've done it all. Now I'll take my shoes off because this is a nice room. This is the room that's just had carpet last week, and again, you know, when you go, oh flipping heck, they're trying to fit carpet. It is a bit annoying when they're trying to fit carpet and you're still trying to do painting, but hey ho, you have to, this is how we roll, isn't it? Right, that fireplace there, what did I paint that in? Zinzer all coat. Brilliant stuff. And again, ceilings, walls. The walls have been replastered, but they're a bit, plastering's not brilliant, but there again, it's probably character for the house. And again, all the woodwork's been sprayed. and the only thing that we've actually brushed and rolled is the actual finish on the walls. The wash coating was sprayed. So that's another room that's done. I'll tell you what, I'll stop you there because I need to get my shoes on. So I've got my shoes on. I've moved into the utility room stroke little kitchenette thing we've got. Now this is my father and Brian's worked on these when they've been here on the job with me. They brought this forward while I've been spraying all the bits and pieces. This was Ticarilla. I wash coated this with the sprayer and then just hand brushed because it's not a big area. 4-inch Eco Union brush, lovely brushes, check them out, Eco Union. 4-inch on an Eco Union brush. This was just painted out, Ticarilla Optima 5. That's a nice one. Let's finish on there. And then we come into the, let's say back passage, sounds a bit wrong to say back passage. We're in the back passage. Now, we've got extras on this job, and one of the extras is the panelling in here, because this was added on after we thought it was just being emulsioned down. So, Brian and my father's been on this. My dad's, I wash coated prior to anything going on. Then they've come in and done brushing it. The green on the walls, that's Optima 5. Brian's got on the woodwork, and then I've actually, because the sprays had all finished, I'd put them all away, I've actually hand brushed all these panels down here. Now I must say, I'm going to stick with spraying for panels like this, because my finish that I've got in there being sprayed is a lot better than brush, as you'd expect. But saying that, I've done pretty good job. Used a nice Arrowworthy, the classics, the lovely bristle for finishing with eggshell, water-based eggshell, that Everall Aqua 40. So that's been hand brushed. Not quite the finish that you get with a sprayer, and you're not going to really see it on the video. I can't even zoom in. You get a little bit of a brush mark there, but that's not too worried about that. But no, it's come up nicely. And then the final bit of a room is just a bit of a cloakroom stroke boot room, and again that's just been all brushed out, and Brian's been on the woodwork there. So all in all, it's been a lovely job to do. It's been nice to get the sprayer out. It's been nice to be appreciated with the work that we've done. Gone into the dark zone. Even the plumber's been and said he's never seen a finish on these dados like what I've got, which does give you a bit of a buzz when somebody comments on things like that. And particularly like doing the bath, marbling the bath. I love doing marbling. I love doing the decorative finishes. And when a customer or somebody who comes in, like the builder lad that's been in, he's never ever seen anything like that, and he says it just looks spot on, and it does. I'm really proud of it. So all in all, yeah, a 4-week job's gone into 6 weeks. Are we out of pocket? Well, not so much out of pocket, it's more of the time that we've lost because of other trades that we've been trying to work around, which is a bit par for the course. But we're in a trade, and this is it, paint and decorate, we're in the trade that makes everybody else's trade look tip top. And we've actually, I'm not saying you can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, we've actually turned around an old house that is dating probably early 1900s. We've actually turned it into quite a nice residence now. We've got it nicely painted. We've improved on things that over the years haven't been very good, like all these staircase spindles and things like that. So yeah, it's quite a nice job to do, isn't it, painting and decorating, because we're the ones that make it all look something. All we need now's, I'll show you, all we need now's the tiles to go on the floor and the skirtings to go on, and then I'll be back. Oh, Arnie. I'm oddly Arnie, am I? He's got a funny accent. Thankfully, I've not got an accent. So, I'll be back. If I do an accent, I'll be back. So, I'll come back and let's stop and have another ad break. Comedy gold. Right, I'll be back. I'll do the skirtings when the floor's down, and that's what we're waiting on at the moment. We're just waiting for the tiler to do these floors. I should think there'll be a little bit of touching up when somebody's damaged something, but with me coming back to do a bit of a skirting, not going to be a problem. So no, thanks for listening to me. Thanks for sticking with me over the last 5 videos of this. Any questions? Because I know people do ask a few questions on doing a job like this. Oh, quote the sun. Looks like I'm a drinker. Far from a drinker. If anybody knows me, teetotal. People do ask, so put some comments how you approach anything like this if you're a bit unsure. The biggest thing that people will mention is it's dead easy to spray in a house with no carpet. Hello, of course it is, but that's not saying I don't do jobs where I do have carpet down, because if you think about it, you're still sheeting up floors. If you got carpet down, or tiles, if you're sheeting up a floor because there's carpet down, you can go around all the edge of the skirting neatly with tape and put a bit of paper on, and you can still spray that skirting. You're not making any more mess, are you? Not really making any, particularly if you know what you're doing with your sprayer and you've got your control. But don't be frightened to be in a room that's got carpet down. The biggest thing you'd probably say to yourself is, if you've got a door like this, I'll just put some little nails, tack nails, and drape a sheet over it, because people do come in and out of your rooms, and if you've got spray and you've got a bit of dust circulating around because you're sanding down, or if you've got your Mercur sander, you still get a little bit of a dust. Just have a sheet draped over that door, that if anybody does come in and it just starts to kill any dust wafting through. So I think really I'll call it out that. I'm all ready to get in my car, straight the van. The 2 vans have already left. I'm in my car today because I'll go straight home, and we're all done and dusted, and it's been a cracking job, and it's been a pleasure to work with this customer and work with the other trades, albeit sometimes they're in my way or our way. There's no I in team, is there? So over and out. See you on the next one. Comments, press that bell, like and subscribe, and see you on the next video. Cheerio. Bye.